the hidden energy of the body. Thoth once said, "Man is not made of flesh and bone, but of movement and memory." His true body is invisible, shaped by thought, emotion, and light. When you understand this, you begin to see that your body is not a container. It is a bridge, connecting what is seen with what is unseen. Every living being vibrates with energy. You may not see it, but you feel it. The warmth when someone enters the room, the heaviness after anger, the stillness after prayer. These are not accidents. They are signals of movement, messages from the unseen world. In the ancient temples of Egypt, the initiates were taught a secret. The human body mirrors the cosmos itself. The head is the heavens, the heart, the sun, and the hands, the gates of will. Through the hands, man gives and receives. Every gesture, every touch, every offering carries a message to the unseen. The left and right sides of your body are not identical. They are complementary. The left hand draws energy inward. It listens, it feels, it receives. The right hand sends energy outward. It builds, it blesses, it creates. When both work together, you become harmony itself. When one side dominates, your balance begins to fade. Even the smallest symbols, a bracelet, a ring, can alter that equilibrium. Jewelry is not just decoration, it is declaration. To the ancients, every metal, every stone, was a living frequency. Gold amplifies action. Silver deepens perception. Stones carry courage, calm, or focus. To wear them blindly is to speak blindly to the cosmos, because nothing you wear is ever silent. Everything vibrates your will. When you place a bracelet on your wrist, you direct your energy. You give it a pattern, a rhythm, a destination. The question is, are you aware of what you're saying to the universe? The left hand and the right hand, the two currents of the soul. The left and right hands are more than limbs. They are rivers of light flowing from the same soul. The ancients called them the dual currents of the spirit. The left hand is the gate of the moon. It receives, it senses, it listens. When you meditate or dream, this hand opens. It draws unseen impressions into your field, like tides touching the shore. A bracelet on this hand should honor that softness. Silver, moonstone, symbols of peace and reflection. Anything that teaches patience belongs here. The right hand is the gate of the sun. It gives, it acts, it creates. When you write, build, or bless, this hand awakens like the dawn. A bracelet here should strengthen clarity and focus. Gold, bronze, citrine. Anything that carries warmth, direction, and courage. But here is where many lose balance. They mix the two rivers. They wear the sun on the moon's hand, and the moon on the sun's. And then they wonder why their peace disappears. They feel drained without reason. They lose focus. They act without meaning. Thoth once said, when the river changes its course, the village starves. When the energy that should flow outward spirals inward, your purpose suffocates. When the energy that should receive is forced outward, your intuition burns away. The left hand teaches humility, to listen before acting. The right hand teaches mastery, to act without attachment. When you understand their dance, your spirit finds balance again. Your mind stops fighting your heart, and life begins to flow like water returning to its source. The law of the bracelet. In the old temples of Kem, there was a law known only to the initiates. They called it the law of the bracelet. It was never written on stone, only whispered from teacher to student. It said this: wherever encircles the flesh encircles the flow. The priests knew that the body is not just skin and bone, it is a river of light. And where the river passes, it can be guided, slowed, or amplified by form. A bracelet, a ring, a necklace. These are not ornaments. They are symbols that tell energy how to move. The wrist in particular is a sacred passage. It is where thought becomes action, where invisible intent becomes visible creation. To wrap this gate is to whisper instructions to your destiny. The law taught that every material carries a vibration. Gold awakens confidence. Silver sharpens intuition. Copper balances emotion. Iron shields the spirit. Each metal was considered alive, a messenger between you and the divine. The wrong metal on the wrong hand was said to create disharmony, not as punishment, but as reflection. Because energy does not judge, it only obeys. If you place silver, the moon's metal, on the sun's hand, you cool what should burn. If you place gold, the sun's fire, on the moon's hand, you ignite what should rest. The result is confusion, a subtle, spiritual short circuit. Your mood may shift for no reason. Your sleep may grow restless. Your focus may wander. You might even start attracting people who drain rather than uplift. Why? Because your magnetic field, the invisible aura around you, no longer flows in harmony. The currents have been crossed. The signal to the universe has become distorted. Thoth warned of this in his teachings. He said, when the circle is bound without purpose, it binds the one who wears it. Meaning, intention must come before adornment. So before you place a bracelet on your wrist, ask yourself, why do I wear this? Is it for beauty or for balance? For expression or for energy? When you wear with intention, you command the current. When you wear blindly, the current commands you. That is the essence of the law of the bracelet, the reminder that nothing that touches your body is without consequence. For in this universe, even silence has sound, and even stillness speaks. The story of the priestess of light. Long before the pyramids rose against the desert sky, there was a priestess known as Amira. She served in the house of the moon, where dreams were studied and light was woven into prayer. Amira was wise beyond her years, a woman who could read the wind, feel storms before they formed, and heal through the touch of her hands. One day, a visiting merchant brought her a gift, a golden bracelet adorned with the seal of Ra. He said, "Wear this, priestess, and the sun itself will bless your power." Amira smiled gently and placed it on her left wrist, the hand of the moon. That night, her dreams changed. She saw visions of fire and shadow, of tides colliding, of the moon bleeding into the sun. When she awoke, her calm was gone. Her touch, once soothing, now stirred restlessness in others. The children she healed began to cry when she approached. The waters she once calmed grew dark. She returned to the temple in confusion. The high sage looked at her hand and sighed. He said, "Child, you have warned the sun upon the moon. You have called forth a storm within yourself." Amira was silent. She realized that even purity can cause chaos when placed in the wrong current. The sage guided her to remove the bracelet and hold it to her heart. He whispered, "Gold does not harm you. Intention does not harm you, but the universe must recognize what is given and what is received." Amira began to meditate daily, alternating between her left and right hands, feeling the difference in their vibrations. The right pulsed like fire, outward and bright. The left flowed like water, soft and absorbing. After 7 days, her balance returned. She placed the golden bracelet on her right hand, and for the first time, she felt peace. Her dreams became clear again, her healings restored, her presence once more radiant. The elders recorded her experience as a sacred lesson. Even light, when misplaced, becomes shadow. The story of Amira traveled across lands. Some told it as myth, others as warning. But those who understood its essence began to wear their ornaments differently. They began to feel their energy before they expressed it. And from that time on, in every temple of Thoth, a single teaching was carved above the altars of balance. The hands are not for vanity, but for vibration. What you wear upon them decides what you become. 5. The energy of the wrist. The divine pathways of power. Thoth once said, "The wrist is not a joint of flesh, but a gate of energy." In every human body, there are pathways where energy flows, much like rivers in a sacred land. The wrists are two of the most powerful of these channels, one connected to the flow of giving, the other to the flow of receiving. The right wrist is your projective channel. It's the energy that flows outward, the hand you use to create, to write, to offer, to defend, to give shape to the invisible. It's the side of action, dominance, and transformation. When you wear a bracelet on this wrist, you amplify your outward power. You send signals into the world. You manifest faster, but you also attract attention, both light and dark. The left wrist is your receptive channel. It absorbs energy, intuition, emotion, divine messages. It listens, it receives. When you wear a bracelet on this side, it protects your inner world, enhances your perception, and connects you to unseen forces. But if worn without awareness, it can also pull in energies not meant for you, the worries of others, the jealousy in a room, or even spiritual noise. In the temples of Thoth, initiates were taught to test both sides before committing to one. They would meditate with a band of copper on the left wrist for 7 days, then move it to the right for another 7. They learned which side aligned with their current path. Some discovered they were meant to balance both, one for creation, one for protection. Others found their power grew only when one side remained bare. Thoth's lesson was simple but eternal. Do not wear symbols blindly. Your body is a map of divine energy, and your wrists are gates. Before you adorn them, understand what you are inviting in, and what you are sending out. So the next time you slip on a bracelet, ask yourself, am I protecting, or am I projecting? Because the answer determines what energy will follow you throughout the day. 6. The hidden consequences, when energy turns against you. When you wear a bracelet on the wrong wrist for too long, the imbalance begins quietly. You may not notice it at first. A little fatigue, subtle restlessness, your thoughts scatter. You begin to attract strange people, those who drain you or confuse your spirit. This is not superstition, it's resonance. Your energy begins to broadcast the wrong frequency. Imagine plugging a sacred device into the wrong circuit. It still runs, but it hums with tension. The current moves against its natural flow. That's what happens when you wear the wrong energy on the wrong side. Thoth taught that every symbol carries its own vibration. A copper bracelet draws healing. Silver attracts lunar wisdom. Gold channels the sun. But each of these responds differently, depending on which wrist you wear them on. When reversed, the healing metal may instead overcharge the body, causing emotional surges or anxiety. There's an old parable from the Temple of Luxor. A student once wore his talisman of balance on his right wrist, though his teacher had warned him it belonged on the left. He insisted, saying he felt stronger that way. Within a moon cycle, his dreams grew chaotic. He began to see visions of light and shadow fighting in his mind. When he returned to the temple, Thoth appeared in his meditation and said, "You tried to master balance by force, but balance does not serve the hand of pride." The student reversed the bracelet. For 7 days, he fasted, meditated, and felt his mind clear again. The energy began to harmonize. His strength returned, not as force, but as peace. This is the hidden secret. Power does not come from the metal, the stone, or the charm, but from harmony. If you wear a bracelet with intention and awareness, it becomes a guardian. But if you wear it blindly, it becomes a mirror for your own imbalance. Thoth's whisper is clear. Every adornment is a contract between the physical and the divine. Know what you are signing. The law of resonance, why the universe responds to your wrist. Thoth once said, "The universe does not hear your words, it feels your frequency." Every bracelet, every symbol, every touch of metal or thread on your wrist vibrates with energy, and this vibration interacts directly with the universe. When you wear something with intention, you create a dialogue with the unseen world. But when you wear it without awareness, that dialogue becomes distorted. Imagine for a moment that your energy is a song. The left wrist plays the melody of your inner being, the song of emotions, intuition, and divine memory. The right wrist plays the rhythm, the beat of action, strength, and manifestation. Together they must harmonize. But when you wear the wrong energy on the wrong side, the music clashes, the melody fights the rhythm, and your life begins to feel off. You can't quite explain it, you just feel it. You begin missing small signs from the universe. Opportunities slip by unnoticed. You attract conversations that drain you instead of lifting you. That's not bad luck, it's dissonance. You're broadcasting confusion into the energetic field around you, and the universe, ever faithful to your vibration, echoes it back. Thoth's disciples understood this law deeply. Before adorning themselves, they would whisper a prayer. Let this symbol resonate with truth and not with vanity. They knew that the reason sacred bracelets were worn during rituals was not decoration, but calibration. The wrist, being close to the pulse, is the point where spirit and body converse. Each beat of the heart sends your energy outward through those gates. So when you wear a bracelet, you are essentially modifying your own frequency. The law of resonance is impartial. If you wear symbols aligned with light, your path opens with clarity. If you wear them with arrogance or ignorance, the same energy magnifies confusion. That's why Thoth warned, adornment without awareness becomes a chain. The secret is simple. Before wearing any bracelet, sit in silence for a moment. Feel your energy. Ask yourself, what do I need today, protection or projection? Then wear it accordingly. When your frequency and your action align, the universe doesn't just hear you, it dances with you. The ancient balance, the right, the left, and the middle path. Thoth taught that humanity is bound between two energies, the solar and the lunar, the masculine and the feminine, the giving and the receiving. The wrists are the physical reflection of this eternal duality, but beyond the right and the left lies something even more profound, the middle path. In the old temples, the priests and priestesses of Thoth performed a sacred ritual known as the ceremony of the three currents. They would place a gold band on the right wrist to honor the sun, a silver one on the left to honor the moon, and between them, around the neck or heart, a simple thread to represent balance, the middle path. This ritual symbolized a truth forgotten by most. Balance is not found by choosing one side over the other, but by understanding both. When you wear your bracelets with this wisdom, you begin to master energy itself. You can act without aggression. You can receive without losing yourself. You become the still point between motion and rest, the eye of the storm. Thoth often said, "He who walks with two bracelets but no balance binds himself to duality." It means that when you adorn both wrists, you must be fully aware of your intent. The right should represent purpose, what you wish to give to the world. The left should represent awareness, what you wish to receive from it. If one outweighs the other, imbalance arises. But if they flow together, life itself begins to obey your energy. There's a forgotten legend of a high initiate who wore two bracelets, one of obsidian, one of gold. He was warned to keep his heart pure, for those metals held opposing powers. Yet he sought mastery over both. When he finally achieved balance through meditation, storms would quiet in his presence. Animals approached him without fear. The metals, once in opposition, now harmonized through him, because he became the middle path. This is Thoth's ultimate teaching. The wrist is not merely flesh and bone, it is a living gate of energy. To master it is to master balance. To ignore it is to invite chaos. So before you wear your bracelets each morning, pause for a moment, touch your pulse. Feel the rhythm of life within you. Ask yourself, am I aligned with giving? Am I open to receiving? Or am I walking the middle path today? And when you answer that silently, you'll notice something miraculous. Your energy will shift, the world will respond differently, and your very presence will begin to command harmony. The awakening through symbols. When bracelets become living energy. Thoth once said, "A symbol is not just carved metal, it is the language of the unseen." Every bracelet, every charm, every sacred thread carries meaning, but few realize that the meaning is alive. It breathes through your energy. When worn with consciousness, it awakens something within you, a bridge between spirit and matter. But when worn unconsciously, it becomes nothing more than decoration. In the ancient schools of Thoth, initiates were taught that every material has a spirit. Copper carries the pulse of the earth. Silver whispers the voice of the moon. Gold radiates the eternal fire of the sun. Stones, too, have personalities. Obsidian absorbs and transforms negativity. Amethyst soothes the mind. Lapis reveals inner truth. Each bracelet you wear is not just an accessory, it's a living companion of vibration. But here is the secret Thoth revealed to his chosen disciples. When you wear a symbol without understanding it, the energy within that symbol goes dormant. It becomes like a sleeping guardian. You might still feel something, a faint resonance, a small shift in emotion, but the real power remains locked away. However, when you connect to the symbol through meditation, gratitude, or intention, you awaken its consciousness. It begins to communicate with you. You'll start noticing coincidences, moments where your intuition whispers answers before your mind can think. You'll feel guided, protected, and strangely synchronized with life. Thoth called this process the awakening of the bracelet. He instructed initiates to place their bracelets under the moonlight once a month, whispering their current intention into the metal. Speak to it as you would to a friend, he said, for it listens to the language of your heart, not your tongue. There's a story of a young priestess who wore a silver band on her left wrist. Every night she would hold it in her hand and whisper gratitude for protection. One evening, she dreamt of a serpent coiling around her wrist, shedding its skin. When she awoke, She felt a lightness in her spirit, as if a layer of fear had fallen away. The bracelet had mirrored her transformation. The message is simple but profound. The power of your bracelet is not in its cost or beauty, it's in your awareness. If you wear it with intention, it becomes an instrument of awakening. If you wear it carelessly, it becomes a weight of forgetfulness. Your bracelets are not just ornaments, they are spiritual mirrors reflecting the state of your soul. Thoth final revelation, wearing energy consciously. When Thoth revealed the final lesson on sacred adornment, the temple was silent. He raised his hand showing two simple bracelets, one gold, one silver, and said, "The wise do not wear symbols for others to see, they wear them for their own awakening." In our modern world, people wear jewelry for fashion, attention, or imitation. But ancient wisdom saw it differently. To wear something on your wrist was to declare your energetic alignment. You were broadcasting to the universe what you were ready to give and what you were ready to receive. If you wore the wrong symbol, or wore it without purpose, you confused the language of your own energy. Thoth taught that conscious adornment transforms the ordinary into the divine. When you put on a bracelet with mindfulness, when you breathe, center yourself, and feel your pulse before doing so, you align body, mind, and spirit. The simple act becomes a ritual. You turn your morning routine into a sacred ceremony. He warned, however, that the moment you wear anything purely for ego, it begins to drain you. The symbol reverses its energy. The gold that should attract abundance now amplifies greed. The silver that should nurture intuition begins to magnify insecurity. The energy does not lie, it only mirrors intention. So Thoth's final teaching is not about the bracelet itself, but the state of being that wears it. Before you adorn your wrist, ask yourself, am I seeking to impress others or to align with truth? Am I wearing this for vanity or for vibration? When you choose vibration, you step into mastery. Your bracelets begin to glow subtly with your own energy, not visible to the eye, but felt by those who meet you. People will describe your presence as calming, magnetic, powerful, though they may never understand why. That's because your energy has become coherent. Thoth whisper echoes through time. Adornment is sacred when done with awareness. Each object you wear becomes a spell, either for harmony or for chaos. So the next time you fasten a bracelet around your wrist, pause, feel your pulse, the rhythm of life flowing through you. Speak your intention quietly, as if whispering to the universe, then wear it not as decoration, but as declaration, because when worn with consciousness, even the simplest thread becomes divine, and you, the wearer, become a living symbol of balance between heaven and earth.